What's good, my boy? Back at it again with another episode, AWJJ, with yours truly, the host, JJ, and another guest again. Go ahead and introduce yourself again one more time, my dog.
It's your boy, Pharaoh Fre, of course. Welcome to Fresh Fridays.
So, back for another sports episode, man. For today's episode, I want to focus on basically two rounds. We're going to talk about first the NBA and the NBA playoffs. There's a lot of things going on, especially with the Lakers and the Warriors. And then after that, for the last little segment of this episode, we're probably going to chop it up about things going on within the NFL, specifically with Atlanta, because Fresh is from Atlanta, and I want to kind of get his insight on what he thinks about this upcoming season. But first and foremost, let me go ahead and ask you this. What do you think of the East and how the NBA playoffs are matching up with the 76ers and the Celtics? Like, there's a lot of things going on saying that potentially Joel Embiid has to play like he's an MVP game in and game out for them to even have a chance of beating Boston.
Take that out. I don't think he's capable. I think his knee injury is real.
Really?
Yeah. I think the knee injury is real. The MCL is real. And I think they're going to have to run the offense through James Harden.
You think James Harden can do it? Step up?
Yeah, because the Celtics, they have lulls on defense and offense. They have brain farts like they did in Game 1. So if you can catch them 2 or 3 times like the Warriors did last year, you can beat them. That's why the Hawks took 2 games off of them.
Yeah. What do you think of the Knicks and Miami? Jimmy Butler's still out, I think, for game. I think he's still going to be out for the upcoming game. Game 3, I think it's going to be.
If they lose the game that he's out for coming up, well, I don't know. Because the game that he was out last time, I think, first of all, Eric Spoelstra's the best coach in the NBA to me.
Right. You shouted out last time.
I think Steve Kerr's right behind him, but I think he's a little bit better than Steve
Masterclass type of mastermind.
Masterclass mastermind. But if they can keep the game, is it in Miami next game?
Yeah, I think it might be.
If they can
Miami
win,
was the 8 seed, right?
Yeah, if they can win this game without Jimmy, I'll pick them to win the series. If they lose, shit, you never know. When Jimmy Butler come back, anything's possible. So it's still up in the air. But Julius Randle coming back off that injury, he still ain't completely acclimated himself yet. But if he do that, it's up in the air. It just depends on Jimmy's health.
Okay. If Miami goes to the Eastern Conference Finals, are you taking them or are you taking Sixers?
I'm taking whoever they're against.
Really?
Yeah. Depending on now, if the Sixers pull it off against the Celtics, it depends on Embiid's health. If the Celtics got to play Jimmy, they already done been through this before. They're not going to lose them. They're going to deal with them right this time.
Okay. Well, I think this is a good time that we go ahead and transition into the real conversation, where I want to get your insight on the Lakers-Warriors matchup, which I think is the hottest matchup right now in the NBA playoffs, considering the fact that you got LeBron and Steph. I'm sure you watched last night's game, which was Game 2. What did you think about that? 27-point blowout by the Golden State Warriors.
I think with LeBron at this point in his career, to me, he's always been a front-running, playing blowout ball type of player. He try to demean you so he can rest. That's what they're doing this series. They did it against the Grizzlies. It worked against them, but this is a different animal. This Golden State team is a different animal. I
was listening to ESPN in the morning today. They was talking about that with other teams in the playoffs that are lesser than the Warriors, you might potentially be able to do this. But with the Warriors, you can't take games off.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't take one away and then say, all right, we can chill until we get back home.
Nah,
because then a team like the Warriors, bro, like you were saying last episode, I did not truly realize how much of a mastermind Steve Kerr was or is. They were talking about the lineup that he went with last night. They were like, Steve Kerr is known to switch up a lineup and run with it if it's working. You feel me? Regardless of if you got Draymond starting or you got Wiggins coming off the bench, he will switch up a lineup if it's detrimental to the opponent's team. You know, the opponent's out. You feel me? So it's like, when you think about it like that, I'm just like, can Darvin Ham, being within his first year transition to understanding to developing a way to beat Steve Kerr? Can LeBron gel? Can AD be consistent?
I'm happy that you brought that up. I think LeBron's running the team more now in the playoffs than Darvin is.
Really?
Yes, because what I see is the direct image of the way LeBron wants to play. He wants to rest. So, it's Bron ball. And AD's playing the same way. They play really big one game, they take the next game off. They play really big game one day, and they'll try to steal the game that they take the game off. That's when LeBron will play really hard and if Rui's going off enough and the team can't stop it.
Speaking of Rui, I want to bring Rui up right after this because his bench production has been crazy. Even in last night's loss, Rui had 21 points, 5 rebounds off the bench.
He's the second best player off the bench in the playoffs to me, or maybe third if you count Malcolm Brogdon.
He's consistently hitting his
But I think Malik Monk was number
shots.
1. Rui and Brogdon might be 2, 3, splitting hairs.
Okay.
But yeah. So back to that game 1 monster performance by Anthony Davis, and then monster performance to me by Coach Braun.
AD 30 points, 23 rebounds from that first game. Freakish.
But what?
Freakish, bro.
25 shots at the free throw line for the team.
You got a good point. Last game, they had a very minimal amount of free throw shots from both teams. I'm pretty sure Golden State might have only had 4 or 5 free throw attempts throughout the entire thing.
I think the Lakers had 14. Somewhere in there. So,
but, okay, I see what you're saying. So, AD has been a hot topic of discussion. If you look at any type of news outlet related to sports, AD has been he's been basically the icon. A lot of people like Jay Williams have came out and said that if you want to be considered a superstar, especially in the NBA right now, you have to play consistently night in and night out. He says his ceiling, AD's ceiling is on the level of Joel Embiid, Jokic style, but his floor is JaVale McGee. And I was just like, that's a critical assessment.
When he was on the Pelicans, it wasn't like that. He played his ceiling all the time and get hurt more. So I think he's evolved his style to stay healthy, which might be good for him. But if you look at it, LeBron's playing that like that now in the latter of his career. It's a Bron thing.
Okay, and he's trying to develop into that type of thing.
I think it's going to keep him healthy.
Longevity in the career.
Longevity to get a ring. It's a playoff thing too.
Yeah.
They're a
you gotta have the horses to get you to the playoffs.
They're a team that's built for the playoffs, which is why they don't mind coming from the 7th seed. They just want to get in.
Facts.
Because then they can. AD can ramp
beating
up a
Memphis.
bit. Yeah, Memphis was kind of injured, but I think
they still took that series though.
Yeah, but
they took the series.
Had they got the seed that Golden State got, which was 6 and not 7, they're losing to the Kings. They wouldn't beat them the first round. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion.
Okay, we'll leave it at your opinion, and we'll keep it moving.
Yeah.
Lakers Warriors, with the outlook right now, with it being 1-1, Clay hitting 8 out of 11 from the 3-point line, crazy wild. I know we originally had this discussion probably off topic when we weren't on the episode, but you said that you still got Golden State 5-1, even after the series being tied 1-1, going back to LA.
Yep.
So you saying Golden State finna go win 3 straight?
Maybe not 3, but at least 2 in a row. I think they win. If they win both games in LA, they win the last game in Golden State.
Okay, but if they split the series in LA, it's 2-2.
They're winning 6. I don't think it's going 7. I think it's Golden State in 6. Because Golden State playing the Kings in the first round was their biggest test, and they passed it. I think it was their biggest test cardio-wise, and playing a team that knows their weakness with their assistant coach is not a head coach of the team that they're playing against. Knowing how to play them, the spots on the floor, running the floor with the young guns, playing their style of ball. And I think that's what's going to help them beat the Lakers. Had they not played Sacramento the first round and they got Memphis, and LA had got Sacramento and had beaten them, I think the Warriors lose. Because you have to have legs. Sacramento's going to push your cardio.
Stupid cardio.
And the legs up under you. And I think that's what we're seeing. Which is why you can't take games off against the Warriors.
Especially even if you are away.
Yeah, even if you're far away, even if
but I will say this, bro. After watching Game 2 and studying it, the amount of transition offensive points that the Golden State Warriors got was ridiculous. Not only from the Clay's 8 3-point shots, but from what's his name, Jermichael Green or whatever. Dude was hitting crazy wild 3-pointers off the bench.
But a lot of that was.
And Vincenzo was hitting early on in the first quarter as well.
But a lot of that's coming off of them double teaming and triple teaming and trapping Steph.
That's literally the only way you can contain him.
Not necessarily.
The Lakers were basically playing a man-to-man. They were playing man coverage.
Because game one, all they did was put Vanderbilt on him. Game 1, they didn't trap him like that.
It looked like the Lakers were just playing man up, and then whenever Steph was, they would just draw towards a double team.
But they was putting Vanderbilt on him while Draymond was running the offense. See, now they got Steph bringing the ball down and running everything.
And he still had 20 points.
Yeah, he had 20 points.
With 12 assists.
Yeah.
Which is wicked.
I mean, I think the biggest mistake that the Lakers made, and this is why I had the Warriors picked in 5. The biggest mistake that the Lakers made is allowing Klay to get confident in his shot.
Yeah.
Even in game
You
one,
see it last
they
night.
were leaving him open. Almost to the point, him and Jordan Poole, almost to the point that they couldn't believe they were that open. They focused that much on Steph that Jordan Poole and Klay couldn't believe that they wasn't respecting their game.
I think Mark Jackson came out and said in game 2, the Lakers would rather lose with Steph not pulling a shot and them getting a wide open shot with another Golden State Warriors player.
If you lose in 5 games, you regret that. You get talked about bad. And see, this series is important because this series has legacy on the line for 3 different players. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James.
That's what I was actually going to ask you. I was going to transition to that later down the line, but let me go ahead and ask you that right now. What does this mean for... First, I'm going to ask you this. What does this mean for LeBron's legacy if he beats the Warriors and he goes on and wins a 5th championship?
I mean, I'm not a LeBron fan by any means. But if LeBron James wins the title this year, he's the GOAT. I would never bash him again. I would never question it. Because
of the lineup in which he has to go
this
against.
playoffs is the most talent and the most great teams that I've seen in the history of the NBA as far as I've been watching. And I was born in 1990. So I've never seen this many good teams. Now, maybe garnering certain years when other teams were healthy, where everybody was healthy, because we lost Kawhi and Paul George to injury and Giannis to injury early and Embiid, and that's kind of like taken away from the field that really is here. But other than that, I give it to him. He makes it through this field coming from the play-in.
It's wicked.
I give it to him.
It's treacherous.
It's treacherous. No matter how he gets it done. He gets it done with him and AD taking games off and playing blowout ball and having Vanderbilt and Schroeder.
It's master class.
It's a master class. And making a trade late with Westbrook and getting Westbrook his first ring without him being on the team.
That's also another great point. Westbrook and Pat Bev both came out saying that they wanted a ring
if
the Lakers win. Which I think they deserve it too.
No, you get it. It's a rule. I think you got to play like 15 or 20 games or something like that.
You get it, yeah. They definitely deserve it though.
So, to get to, I'll let you ask the question.
Okay. I mean, my next question was just going to be transitioning into. Okay. I originally asked about LeBron and what this would mean for LeBron's legacy. What do you think it would mean for Steph and his legacy in modern day, especially within the past decade, as far as greatest
If Steph
players?
wins his 5th ring and he goes through Bron to get it, who's considered the GOAT? They always really go between him and MJ. He has to be considered on that Mount
Rushmore.
I wouldn't say that because when you look at the top 5, which to me is Kareem, Bron, Jordan, Duncan, Kobe, they're all two-sided players. They're all first NBA defensive player of the year, steals champs, rebounding champs. They're all in consideration for that. Steph's not that. But I think Steph would be... I would put him ahead of Magic slightly because Magic is not a defender. Mm-hmm. But he was so great on the offense that people could still consider him one of the greatest.
Was wicked too.
But what would push him a little bit ahead of Magic to me and start to help him make him enter the conversation with those other 5 guys I just named is the fact that he still has that same team and he's going to be back again for like 3 to 4 more years. And he could possibly get 6 or 7.
If he gets 6 or 7, it's crazy.
If he gets 7, he's the GOAT. That's it. But now this is what makes LeBron's implication worse. If Steph gets his 5th ring on LeBron's watch, you can never mention LeBron's name with Jordan ever again. I'm sorry. That's it. You let a player come in the league during your watch and win more rings than you. Because, you might be more talented. You might be better, well-rounded as a player. But
Steph's teams have also been more talented, too.
No, they haven't. Steph just kept the same players. So it's a different contrast in playing styles.
That's literally a topic of conversation as well in the sports
LeBron
world.
has chosen his teams. He chose Westbrook, then chose to get rid of him. He chose AD. He chose Bosh. He chose Wade. He chose Kyrie. He chose Ray Allen. All Hall of Famers.
Facts. Who also carried him in multiple games. 2 Hall of Famers.
Maybe borderline 3 with Iggy. Maybe later on down the line. Hall of Fame head coach and Steve Kerr.
Definitely.
But when you look at it now, Mike Brown, coach of the year, that was Bron's coach. Eric
Back in Cleveland.
Eric Spoelstra, best coach in the league. That was Bron's coach. So all the Bron pundits, they be like, oh, Bron did it on his own. He never had good coaching. Hold on. Slow down.
But this was earlier in their careers, though.
He still was that good then. He had to evolve. And I think it ends up being a contrast in ways that people approach the game. I'm not a LeBron fan because I'm not a fan of the way he approaches the game. It's an AAU style approach. It's all talent and hype based. He's not
Listen,
going to
he's developing his own team. He goes against his own players.
He's going to develop his team on the talent that's available now. He's not going to wait on you to get better. He don't care what you can do tomorrow. He cares what you can do for him now. He's not going to change his playing style. Steph turned into a passer to win last night.
12 assists. Oh, I hate to say it, man. I hate to say it.
Steph improved his defense so people wouldn't hunt him on when he was on defense anymore and tire him out. He turned into a better defender. He's not a great defender, but he turned into a better defender. I haven't seen. Yeah, I give Bron that. Bron developed a jump shot and started taking threes. I give him that.
I'm not gonna lie. Last night he had some pretty decent shots.
But this series has a huge implication on the history of the NBA. This series has especially if one of these teams ends up in the finals, which is where I want to go to my other topic. If this is where you done that with the
yeah. Go ahead.
I think the Denver Nuggets are the best team in the playoffs.
Oh, okay, that's great. I'm glad you said that. I was just about to bring up the Nuggets and Phoenix matchup, especially with it going into Game 3. Chris Paul out with a groin injury.
I think Denver beats them 4-1, maybe even sweeps them.
I was just about to say maybe even goes 4-0 because Jokic.
And if that happens, the Lakers or Golden State are in super trouble.
Jamal Murray didn't even have a good game and they still won.
Nigga, Jokic turned into a scorer, not a passer. He dropped 37 points on them boys. Like, they hungry. Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon and Kywell Pope. And
they got Jeff Green too, huh?
Jeff Green and a couple other young defender rookies that they got coming off the bench that's cold. That's locking guys up. They're dangerous. To me, they're the best team in the playoffs right now.
I think they came out and asked KD about him. They was like, "Were you surprised?" And he was like, "Against the different Nuggets, not even close. I expected it." And it's like you have professional athletes saying that about I know it might not look like this to the media, but whoo, so 4-1. You call it 4-1 in the series? I can definitely see that 4-0 in the series. Okay, they go to the NBA championship. They take the Western Conference Finals. What do you think about them? You think they can beat Boston or the Sixers coming out of the East?
I think they beat Boston or the Celtics. I mean Boston or the Sixers.
You think they beat
now
they beat
if
Miami
it's
too?
Joel's health. Oh, they destroying Miami. Jimmy not doing that to them. Jimmy might get a game off of them, maybe two, but Joker
4-2 at most.
If Miami makes it to the finals, first of all, Jimmy needs to get way more attention and way more praise if they make it to the finals again through this gauntlet. That's first and foremost. And then if he manages to take 2 games off the Nuggets that beat LA or Golden State and swept or beat Phoenix 4-1,
ooh. Jimmy's definitely, he might have to be in consideration of the Mount Rushmore.
We'll see probably Dame or some great player go there. And I'm kind of mad that we didn't talk about that before we transitioned from the East. Bam. They're talking about maybe trading Bam because Miami's feeling like he's playing too soft.
Adebayo. What?
So, yeah.
On the interior?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep. It was been mentioning lately.
Who would you send him to though? Would you keep? You would have to send him to the West because you wouldn't want to face him in the East.
Everything that they've been talking about now is Dame.
But I think Dame is like, you sure Dame is really gonna leave Portland?
Nigga, Dame with Jimmy? They just need an okay big man because Eric gonna coach it up.
I was just about to say, you really looking at you lucky looking at
they got
you're
4
looking
undrafted
at
players in their
you're
rotation.
looking at a Luka Kyrie type of deal, but they're better defensively.
They're better defensively and they're better coached. They got 4 the undrafted players in the rotation.
Cohesiveness, developing a team. Wow.
I'm telling you, like, they're extremely dangerous. Like, and damn, we should have talked about more before we left the East. Coach Bud getting fired. What does that mean for the NBA?
You know what they also came out and said? They said 3 out of the past 4 NBA champions between the Toronto Raptors, the Milwaukee Bucks, Golden State Warriors, and the LA Lakers, Steve Kerr is the only head coach that remains. Which is a wild stat because you had...
you know why, though? Steve Kerr lost 2 Hall of Fame players in the finals. And Kevin Durant, well, he lost them earlier in the playoffs. And Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to say this for Coach Bud. I look into the camera to say this. Coach Bud lost his brother the day before that game in a car accident. So RP to Coach Bud's brother that he lost.
So do you think Milwaukee's front office is wrong for doing that?
I don't think they're wrong. I think the decision was the right decision because he's been slipping. He really been riding the coattail of the talent. but they're wrong. I won't say they're wrong.
They do have a championship. They
have a championship. It's the manner of the business, but do know that Coach Bud was going through some things at the time. They could have waited until maybe after the playoffs was over and the season concluded to kind of give him time to mourn, to make it a little bit more professional. But I think it's the right decision. But I will say this, depending on the coach they get, say they get Nick Nurse, they're dangerous.
Ooh. They used to be with the Toronto Raptors.
Yes, they get Nick Nurse, they're dangerous. We'll see the team change completely. I think we'll see Giannis back on that path because the Giannis that makes free throws, which is the Giannis that won the championship.
You think Giannis will leave Milwaukee?
Not this contract. Maybe later on. Not right now. Giannis is very optimistic. I think he gives the next coach a full 3 years or to the end of his contract, which I should have did my homework on so I could say where his contract is going to end. But I think that's what happens with him.
Yeah. Okay. With everything that's been said, coming out the East and coming out the West, regardless of who does come out, are you taking a Western Conference champion to win the NBA Finals or an Eastern Conference champion to win the NBA Finals?
If the Lakers go to the Finals, it's the Celtics. I got the Celtics.
Oh, that would be a classic historical series too.
If Denver goes to the Western goes, I got them automatically. If Golden State goes, I got them automatically.
Okay. Well, I think it's a good point that we go ahead and dive into the second round of this segment. Like I said earlier,
let me tell you why before you.
Well, okay. Go ahead and finish up.
Because Boston has the big men to deal with LA's AD and LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think Philly can get there because of Embiid's knee. Now, if Embiid can magically, or if Doc can get smart in the moment and pivot like Kerr and be like, James Harden, we running the offense through you. We just got Embiid out there to be a decoy. Slick let him heal and play him 10 minutes a night.
Because they have to respect him. They can't just leave him straight up. I feel what you're saying.
Then he makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals and then
just
unleashes himself or waits till he gets to the finals and then unleash him. Then they have a chance.
Okay.
But as of right now, I think Embiid's too hurt.
I actually wanted to ask you this too before we go back into or before we finally go into the NFL aspect of this episode. What are your key takeaways for Golden State to finish off the series? And then I'm going to give you my key takeaways for the Lakers.
One of the main things on the topic, baby. My nigga Clay got to stay hot. And Clay is playing in front of his dad's team, which is LA Lakers. He's a huge Kobe fan.
You know what they say about Clay, though?
What?
He be hot one night, and then he don't be hot the next night.
The Lakers is giving him steroids, which is they're not respecting him. They're letting him pick his shots.
He's eating off of that.
Yes, and it was from game one. Ability. Like him and Jordan Poole were taking shots to the point they couldn't believe that the Lakers wouldn't respect them. They shot. Which is why they went on a 14-0 run with Clay, Poole, and Steph making threes. Like
each had 6.
Yeah, like you're not
totaling out to 18.
You're not respecting what this team does. Like the Kings respected that and took that away.
Okay.
The Lakers think they could just beat them down low, get to the line. Oh, let them take as many threes as they want. Well, Steve Kerr not gonna let y'all get to the line, bro.
Yeah.
No more. So
this is my takeaways for the Lakers to go ahead and come back and bounce back and win this series because I really haven't chopped it up as far as my opinion on the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
AD's gonna have to come in and play and at least produce 25 points or more. He's gonna have to at least he's got to be that factor in order to train. I've been saying AD's gonna be the factor for the entire season, but especially when it comes to the playoffs, he's got to be the reason that the Lakers are able to transition past the Warriors. LeBron's got to consistently go to the basket and be dominant like he normally is. And I can't deny the fact that he is hitting his jumpers. I originally wouldn't want LeBron to take jump shots. I'd rather him play down low and play inside the arc. But he's been consistently hitting his jumpers. And I would also say Austin Reeves looked like Austin Reeves looked a little nervous last night. Looked like he maybe just couldn't get it going.
Is one of the most craftiest players I've seen in the NBA in a long time. This is what I mean. Austin Reeves knows how to score when nobody's watching.
Yeah.
He's the best at that.
But he got to score when somebody watching.
Like even I give you an example. The Lakers went up the most they went up by last night. I think by 6 points. Austin scored. I think right before they went up by that amount. The very next play, DiVincenzo was guarding him like it was Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
He bricked it. And his confidence
locked him up. He was done for him. He wanted to pass the ball. He would bring the ball down the court and pass it immediately. Like I said, okay. And
so to me, the key to the Lakers winning the championship is a name that a lot of niggas not gonna think about, but it's D'Lo. But the Warriors have the remedy for him.
Let me go ahead and finish this point. This point of mine, my opinion. Last time you said we didn't have a true mid-range shooter, I think D'Lo could be that for the Lakers, and he might consistently hit a one dribble 3-point shot as well. You see what I'm saying? He's crafty as well as, you know, who else is crafty? Dennis Schroeder. He's got a crafty offense. He has a crafty offense.
Guard. He can pass with a crafty offense. Rui got to be on. Rui got to be on.
Rui has been on off the bench, producing 21 points.
Yeah, no, I give you that. If Rui on, Schroeder's more dangerous because then he got that outlet person he can pass to when people's guarding him.
And Lakers got to hit shots.
But this is what I'm going to say. This is why Golden State is their biggest test. Because Golden State has the personnel to shut D-Lo down. They got GP2, which they haven't been playing that much, which I think we're going to see more in LA.
Yeah, that's facts.
That's Steve Kerr.
That's facts.
We're gonna
I did see GP2 on the sidelines.
We're gonna see more GP2, I think, in LA, because that's when D-Lo gonna come out with his confidence, and they're gonna need the Wiggins defense, the Draymond defense, and then the Clay's defense, which they've been putting Clay on Austin, shutting him down.
Easily too.
And then they're gonna have GP2 if D-Lo gets started. And
this is a wicked point that I think I should make, that I think would also be beneficial for the Lakers. I think they should play the backup center, Gabriel, number 35, a little bit more to kind of throw different attributes at Kevon Looney, to throw him off of his rebounding game.
That's another thing we could talk about. Damn, this series got so much to talk about. Like how Steve Kerr saying Kevon Looney is sick. Stop the cap.
Yes.
He trying to save him for Game 3 because they trying to steal Game 3. NBA world, sports world. Golden State is going for a 5-1. They want their rest because they know they got to play the Nuggets, and the Nuggets is no joke this year.
The Nuggets is
serious.
The
Nuggets are playing with a chip on their shoulder.
They feel like homework.
They feel like the Lakers stole one from them. They feel like the Lakers disrespected them in the bubble, and they feel like Golden State only beat them last year because they ain't have Murray and Porter Jr. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder.
We got our team back now. We next. We coming back. I feel that.
They ain't playing, bro.
All right, man. Well, that was the key takeaways from each of our perspectives. Let's go ahead and transition into the NFL.
Dillon Brooks.
Oh, how could I forget about the Dillon Brooks situation with Memphis, bro? Memphis, disrespectful, coming out saying that stuff about Dillon Brooks, saying he's not coming back on any circumstances. Mm-hmm. Crazy. Mm-hmm. Why would you even come out and say something like that as an organization and consider yourself professional?
Because they're delusional. They felt like they had a chance to beat LA if he didn't talk shit, which is delusion.
But Dillon Brooks fits so well into their. He fits so well into their.
He is their team.
He's their Draymond.
Is their team. They is whoop that trick.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
He is that. Now, I give them credit, or not credit. I will say I can side with him a little bit. He's not as offensively explosive as he used to be.
But he still can give
that
you
guy.
3 or 4 3-pointers.
He was defending Bron well, and he was doing the things he was doing well. I give Dillon that. Memphis is wrong. They're trying to embarrass him. It's like y'all going against the culture y'all created for these guys to play under.
That's what I'm saying. You going against the modern day bad boy. That's
one of the modern day bad boys, and you one of the teams in the NBA that's a modern day bad boys team.
That's what's giving you
Don't
your
try
media.
to change it up now because you ain't get your
That's what's giving you your attention. Wow,
that's lame. But
wow,
they talking about Miami's gonna be a front runner for him. Golden State's gonna be a front runner for him. A couple teams like that.
If he goes to Golden State, that'd be
right.
Oh my.
Then we might not see Draymond anymore.
Yep, exactly. Unless they win a chip, like you said.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think getting rid of Wiggins solidified Draymond's spot.
But I'd rather have Wiggins than Dillon Brooks.
Exactly.
Because he's defensive guru and can give you a consistent 3 every now and then with a mid-range jumper.
He's just a big guy who can get rebounds. He can play in the paint.
Agreed. All right, let's officially transition to the NFL, man.
Let's go.
So let me go ahead and ask you this. I know you said you weren't going to pay attention to the Atlanta Falcons season coming up, but after the draft and just knowing kind of somewhat of the caliber of their team position-wise, what are you predicting as far as the Atlanta Falcons is a record-base wise? Like, what do you think their record's going to be coming up in this fall season?
I think we can win the NFC South.
Really?
Yeah. No Brady.
Because I'm about to say Tampa's actually one of those consistent contenders that you have to face.
Not without Brady.
Even the Saints? Think you beating the Saints too?
Yeah, with Derek Carr? Yeah, we can whoop him.
You don't think Derek Carr's going to pan out for the Saints?
Not one bit.
Really?
No. Sean Payton's not there.
I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of agree, but I just wanted to hear your insight.
Sean Payton's not there.
Who I can't. I got some Saints homeboys that I probably disagree. I got some true New Orleans boys that I get on this thing and
first
really
of all,
disagree.
let me apologize to B.J. Robinson. They say you most touted running.
What did I tried to tell you that this past episode. I tried to tell you that.
Since AP, I apologize to you. Yes, we still should have took Jalen Carter. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go back on that. The Falcons,
Man,
we have a trend of chasing flashy offensive players. It's an Atlanta thing. I get it, but we need foundational pieces. There has been no running back taken early in the first round. I don't think that's won a Super Bowl in 10, 15 years. AP ain't win one. Saquon ain't win one. Christian McCaffrey ain't win one. Derrick Henry ain't win one. What you think BJ going to make a difference for? Like, come on, man. Defense. We need to stop Patrick Mahomes. We need to stop Lamar Jackson. We need to stop old boy in San Diego.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, I'm sorry, up in Philly. Old boy in LA on the Chargers. Like, it's just a quarterback league. We got to be able to hit them. We got to be able to stop these receivers. It's Justin Jefferson. It's old boy on the Bengals.
Jamar Chase
and
Joe
Burrow.
The combination of a tandem.
Now you got Aaron Rodgers on the East now too, but he's out of the NFC. Thank you.
He's gonna be disrespectful in the Jets. I'm glad you bring that up. I'm gonna go ahead and bring up one of my rapid fire questions right quick. For those of you just now tuning in, I always like to throw rapid fires probably normally at the end of the segment, but let me go ahead and ask you this because you brought up Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. Who are your preseason, way too early, top 3 Super Bowl contenders?
Who I think are overrated?
Not just in you think these top 3 teams that can win the Super Bowl.
Jets.
Wow. Okay. You gotta put Kansas City in there.
Chargers.
The Chargers with Justin Herbert?
He's nasty.
I think he dwindles this year.
Jets, Chargers, and wherever Kyler Murray ends up.
Wicked take. Didn't include Cincinnati. Didn't include Philly. Didn't include Buffalo.
I think they're gimmies. I think they're already there. I could have just gave you that. But those are my surprise picks. So we'll turn and take into that.
Okay, I like the surprise picks because it gives you a different aspect. And it allows you to see something from a different style of.
Because word on the streets is the Falcons was this close to getting Kyler in a trade for picks and money.
Oh, and he would fit right in. Now that I think about that, Kyler Murray would be a saucy quarterback.
They're trying to get rid of him.
Because he can't stand in the pocket and make passes,
They're trying to get rid of him. So I think if he ends up on the Redskins or something like that, oh my God.
Was Scary Terry outside?
Oh, I'm sorry, not the Redskins. The Commanders. Excuse me.
Was Scary Terry outside?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that O-line and D-line and the defense that they got.
With Chase Young, Hutton, Young, facts.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed, man. Well, I'm gonna give you a little comment on the Cowboys.
I forgot about y'all boys.
Bruh, I know a lot of the Cowboys fans know that we went out there and drafted a young running back by the name of Deuce Vaughn out of Kansas State. His father actually works for the Cowboys organization. It was a super special moment that he got to draft his own son. But kind of like you did with the Bijan Robinson comment saying that you didn't think the Atlanta Falcons should have went and got a running back. Mm-hmm. You'd rather focus on defense. Coming from a Cowboys fan standpoint who definitely does his homework, I think we definitely should have went after either an offensive lineman or a potentially somewhere on the defensive side in the secondary. Because we just got rid of a tight end. We could have even went after a tight end. We decided to draft a defensive tackle with the first-round pick, which I don't think we needed any type of help or enforcement on the interior line. You think they're trying to replace Zeke, you're saying? Mm-hmm. But you're not going to do that with Deuce Vaughn.
Maybe with him and Pollard.
No shot. Because who's going to stand in the pocket and block? You don't have a single running back. Pollard and Deuce Vaughn are the exact same type of running back. Mm-hmm. So it's like you need somebody like, I mean, you got Roland Jones, but it's not like he's going to be big enough to stand in there like Zeke and protect. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Get the 3rd and 1 against Philly away.
I think y'all biggest issue is just committing to the run.
Because that's what's going to allow Dak to
throw less, exactly, and build and make smarter decisions.
That's what's going to allow him to develop.
And I think he has a 50 chances of throwing the ball.
The game is going to come to him. He'll feel more comfortable. He's not going to have as much pressure. Let's be real. Let's keep it honest. But you could have easily also went and got a quarterback.
But your head coach came from coaching Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers was the MVP all the time.
But if you're a good coach, you're a good coach, though, Sean Payton. Let's see what Sean Payton does with the Broncos. If you're a good coach, you're a good coach.
I think Sean Payton's better than him.
He definitely is.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. He's definitely better than Mike McCarthy. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would say D'Amico Ryan is probably one of the smartest minds in the NFL right now, mm-hmm. who just got a job with Houston Texans. Mm-hmm. But Sean Payton is definitely, he's like a Steve Kerr.
You about to turn him up.
Real deal, Holyfield fam. Well, I think this is a good point that we go ahead and transition into another topic that I would like to discuss. For those of you who maybe aren't aware, there was a video of Cam Newton that surfaced talking to a younger generation, looked like they were high school kids, basically about the next level, which will be college in reference to that. And Fresh, you want to make your commentary on that? You want to talk about it right quick?
I'll go into a little bit more detail. So pretty much Cam was telling these kids that the top programs, I don't want to list names for
Copyright issues.
Copyright purposes, exactly. But pretty much telling these kids that the top programs, SEC schools in particular, and some other divisions with top schools, they don't need you. So if you can't guarantee your spot to play, not even start, but to play.
To get some consistent.
Yeah, to get some consistent feel. Especially now that we're in the era of NIL, that it isn't worth it to take that risk. And
you should go somewhere where you're going to be that guy.
And gamble, yes. And I agree with Cam. I don't agree with the ridicule that he's been taking and receiving from people that have taken a path differently than his and gotten where they needed to go, because I think he told them the right thing.
I agree, man. And coming from somebody who competed on a D1 perspective, especially at one of those big programs, I would definitely say if you're one of those up-and-coming athletes, especially from the high school section, go somewhere where you're heavily wanted. Because Cam came out and said you don't want to just be that senior who runs that one slant.
On senior day.
On senior day or something like that. You don't want to go out there and run your little gimpy route. You want to be the dude who comes in freshman year, he's moving eyebrows. Sophomore year, he's that guy. Junior year, he's really considering if he should go to the league. And you can honestly make it to the league from any perspective. You can either go to a D1 AA, you can go to a small school. Look at how many athletes who came out of North Dakota State, like quarterback level. You see what that's what I'm saying. So it's like for all those up and coming high school athletes,
Georgia Southern,
go somewhere you want to play. Go somewhere where you're going to be developed in life, because now we got NIL deals. You'll get paid wherever you are. If it's a city, especially a city that supports their college team, you're gonna get paid wherever you are, even if it's a little mom and pop shop. You're gonna get some type of attribute or incentive. You see what I'm saying? So
agreed.
That's my insight on the entire thing as far as what Cam Newton said in the whole Cam Newton video. I felt like it was proper that we went ahead and addressed that, considering that we were talking about just everything from the draft and transitioning into the NFL. But with all that being said, man, I think we should go ahead and end this segment with one last rapid fire question for you. And I want to ask you this. This is a segment of the game that not a lot of people truly, I guess, put too much light on, but it's like one of the biggest elephants in the room.
Before we move on, I think Desmond Ritter's going to have a good season. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And even though
Atlanta Falcons,
I think we should have took the defensive end, Jalen Carter, B.J. Robinson with Cordell Patterson, Kyle Pitts,
Algier,
Drake London. Maybe one of the best offenses in the South.
Could develop too.
In the NFC.
Young too.
In the NFC. Very young.
Could develop.
With Arthur Smith, the one who architected that Tennessee Titans offense with Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown. I think he's on to something.
Craziness. Well, let me go ahead and give you this last rapid fire question. Who do you think is the swaggiest player on the Warriors?
Klay Thompson.
Just with the one band.
Klay Thompson.
I love it.
Single bachelor lifestyle. Loves his dog. Is on his boat.
Golfing.
Golfs. Him and Steph. It's Klay.
Who's the swaggiest player on the Lakers?
LeBron.
I'm about to say, bro, LeBron is actually pretty. He's stupid swaggy, bro. He is stupid swaggy.
It's Bron.
Especially with him being 38 and still that guy.
But Klay, LA messed up when they let Klay get confident in his shot. You can't do that.
Okay, let's go ahead and end the segment with these final points. So you're one of your final points is that you feel like Klay is not going to dwindle as the series goes on.
They let him get too confident in the first two games.
Even when they go away, he's still going to be sharp shooting abilities.
They don't have the personnel to try to stop him and Steph. Vanderbilt's their best defender. Unless LeBron turns hands of time and goes back to Miami defending LeBron.
Holding him down. Defensive player.
And then makes them depend on Poole and DiVincenzo and other guys for scoring. I think they allow Klay. Steph's ceiling's higher. He's a better player than Klay. But Steph's floor is higher.
Facts.
But Klay's ceiling is
Astronomical.
When he gets started, and the team knows
One of
they're
the
gonna
best
feed
to
him the
ever
ball.
do it.
The team gonna feed him.
One of the best to ever do, and that was a
Yeah,
good point that you brought
they're
up.
gonna feed him.
Once he was hot, they was definitely
You
feeding
can't
him.
let Clay get confidence.
Steph Curry, 12 assists.
And Sacramento knew that. You can't let Clay get confidence. You better keep him in foul trouble. You better guard him. You better don't talk shit to him. Like
Just
leave
play
him
decent
alone.
decent defense.
Let him rush. Don't let him get comfortable. And that's where LA messing up. And I think this is why I got Warriors 5-1. They let Clay get comfortable. And that's what I seen in game 1.
Warriors 5-1. Warriors going ahead on basically a
Then Warriors Nuggets 7-game series.
3-1.
And whoever wins that
3-1 shred.
beats Boston in 6 or 7.
Well, Fresh, you got any last words, any last comments before we go ahead and wrap up the segment?
I think this Boston Celtics teams will end up like those Buffalo Bills that lost 4 in a row.
In the 90s? What?
I think this Boston Celtics teams ends up like that. I think they lose 2 to 3 in a row, maybe even 4.
Wow. That might be a clip. We might have to clip that.
And I think them losing their head coach to fraternization is going to be bigger than we thought. Because Joe Mazzulla's making coaching mistakes that Bro wasn't making last year that got them to the finals. That he would have been able to clean up and learn from his mistakes that he's not able to now.
Wow.
And I think Houston hiring him is a big deal, especially if Houston, that's another, we'll bring it up later because that's a great topic for next week.
Let's go ahead and save it for next week,
Yeah.
man. Thank you for listening in. Hopefully you just started tuning in, man. These are the Fresh Fridays. We're going to have these pumping out quickly, bro. Always giving you great advice, great tutelage as far as a sports perspective on life, especially with an optical insight and stuff like that, with Fresh's opinions and his detailed descriptions of how he breaks down the master class. So go ahead and like, subscribe, and share this, and go ahead and stay blessed, be peaceful, and continue to stay up to date on sports, man. Hold it down. We out of here.